Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Mandy Jo on Instagram. You can follow me at m.j.glam. Yeah, so this is my first video going through my daily setup and what I usually wear on a daily basis when I'm going out or if I'm not going to the gym or whatever. And bear with me because this is a super primitive setup as this is my first time doing this. So thanks for joining me and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I always start off my makeup with my brows. If my brows aren't looking good, then I can't get anything to come together or look right. So I use the Eco Tools brand brow brush. I happened to be out one day looking for some new brushes. I needed a new brow brush. My old one had fallen apart and I didn't want to spend a ton of money because I just don't have it to spend. So I picked these up. They were on sale and they've been great ever since. I also use the NYX Tame and Frame tinted brow pomade. I love NYX Cosmetics. I have never had a bad product or a bad experience from anything I've bought from NYX. So yeah, it's the best stuff. And I don't have the money to spend on the super duper high end stuff, so I have yet to try it. But for something you're looking for something excellent and affordable, you can't go wrong with NYX. And my eyebrows are really light because I'm naturally a blonde. So I try to stay, something that doesn't look too unnatural, but something that's obviously a bit darker than blonde. You saw before I started that how light, well, you can even see my hairline, how light my natural hair colors, and especially when I'm out in the sun, it bleaches it out even more. And I think we're all guilty of trying to get those eyebrows like perfectly even, but sometimes they're just not, and they're just not going to look identical. So we just do our best, and that's all we can ask for. Okay, so I like to keep the inside a bit lighter because I don't like them to look super drawn or overdone. So that's when I switch to, I use the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara to just kind of fill in a little bit on the inside to try to keep them a bit lighter. Not crazy though. I mean, I don't want to go over, one way or the other. So okay, so now I just take my pomade, my brush, and I kind of go in and just add a little, looks like a little couple hairs, right? Just for a definition or so. And I just take the point of my brow brush and just dip it into the pomade just a smidge. I don't want a whole lot. And then I just go just lightly on the inside here of the inside of my brow. And that's pretty much it for the brows. Now I'll go in and clean the edges up with some concealer. Okay, so now when I want to go in and clean my edges up, I'll use e.l.f. concealer, another great brand, super inexpensive. I've never had any bad experience from any of their products either. So I mean, if you're looking for good makeup, you don't always have to spend, the $40 or the $50 on the palettes or the mascaras or whatever. You can find some really good brands just, in your department stores or even at Ulta, just not on the high-end side of the store. Okay, and I do use a light shade around my brows just because I've used darker, like more to match my skin tone of concealer, but it always ends up looking like it gets really dark around my brows, and you want a bit of highlight around your brows, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I do is I just take the wand and I get just a bit of concealer on and just run you know, down the underside of my brow. I try to get as close to my brow as I can without getting too much concealer, because you don't want it to get up into your brow, because then you just have a whole mess and you have to start all over, and that's just not fun. Okay, and I'll just do the same thing for over the top. And I don't go too far in on the top side, just because I don't want it to be too heavy there. I still want it to look light and natural. And then I'll just take a little bit on the inside and run up that straight line right there. And then I just grab a Kat Von D straight edge. This is what I use. I don't know if it's what I use, it what works best for me. And then I'll just go and blend that concealer out and clean up any edges that I need to on my brow. Okay, so finished product, completely different than before, and some days they go on like a dream. Other days I'm sitting here fighting for an hour to try to get them right. So today, not so bad. I don't really have anything to complain about. Okay, so for my shade eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Rockstar palette called Balm Jovi from the Balm. This was the first piece of makeup I ever got from the Balm, and I have to say I do love this palette. The colors I'm going to be using with my dual-ended Eco Tools brush, I'm going to use Third Eye Blind and Alice Cooper from this palette alone. I'll probably throw some other shades in from a couple different other palettes. But I love this Alice Cooper look. It looks fine with just about everything I wear or wherever I'm going to, but it also kind of gives you a bit of a smoldering type feel too. Like if you want to dress it up with a, going out on the town type of outfit or whatever. So yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to take this Third Eye Blind. I'm going to start with it, and I'm going to take it all the way here, all the way up to my brow, or the underside of my brow. So yeah, I just start right in the corner, over my lash line, the crease, and then I will take it all the way up and out. I know some people go under. I like to just do the corners and then save the under for like when I go back in to finish my eyeliner and mascara. Okay, so now I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush and start using this Alice Cooper just to go in at the crease, and then like I said, I'll probably use a couple different shades to kind of blend it out a little bit. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. Okay, and I just want to make perfectly clear that I'm super amateur in the ways of applying makeup, so maybe these videos can help some women, some young women who maybe aren't trained professionals, but you can also get a very nice eye look using some super inexpensive tools, makeup, and then just some techniques that aren't professional. But I mean, the point is just to get the job done and have a nice looking face of makeup, if that's what you're going for. So I'll just dab in a little bit, and I'll start at the outside, and I just dab it a little bit, and I take it all the way in to the inner corner of my eye, and I'll brush it out a little bit, and then I also take to inside of the outer corner just a little bit. So I'll just try to blend out the outside of this shadow. And I'm going to take, well, that's not too bad. I'll take a lighter shade, I think, and go above just a little bit, just so it's not so dark up in here. But I definitely want that crease defined. I want it darker in my creases for the look that I'm going for. Okay, so this is my little Smashbox palette I got one day at Ulta, and I was so excited. Used my Ulta points. I got me and my kid both one of them. And then I get home and I opened it and it was smashed to bits on the inside. And so I'm hanging on dearly to what's left of this light shade called Stare that it crushed me when I opened it. And I just didn't want to go all the way back up there. I was like, I'll just make do. I don't use it that often, but I mean, it's kind of sad when you spend money or even use your makeup points, your reward points on something, and you get it home and it's trashed. So yeah, that devastated me for a second. But I did just go ahead and take a little bit of this Stare color and just ran it right underneath my brow to kind of blend in with that maroon color. And so now for my Smashbox palette, I'm going to take this darker color right here called Hotline. I'm going to take that and just go right on the inside of my crease just to darken that up just a little bit. Okay, so with my crease brush again, I'm going to go in with this Hotline and just dab it on the crease all the way to the corner and create that darker line now. And this isn't a cut crease because I have not mastered that skill yet. To those of you who can, amen, because I just have not got that done yet. So I'm just going to darken this up, go in just a smidge on the outer corner, and then dusting that same brush off, I'm going to take it and lightly blend that out just a little bit. So I still keep that line in my crease. And then if I need to even anything out between the two, then this is the time that I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this L'Oreal Paris Infallible eyeshadow, this gold, and I'm going to put it right on the inside corner because that is just a look I love. I feel like it's like you can just do that with anything. I love that look. So yeah, I'm going to take this. It's another e.l.f. tiny brush. I'm going to take in, because this it's super pigmented. So I'm going to put that right on the inside corners of my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to dab a little bit of color on my brush. And I'm going to start right inside. And I'm going to go right up against that crease with that color. So, I mean, I guess you could kind of call it a cut crease, but nowhere near like some of the other ladies I've seen do. So, I'll follow that. And then I just try to blend it out best I can towards the outer edge. So it creates like it's, blending into that maroon color. Okay, and then when I'm comfortable with that, I will grab another little brush and just kind of blend the outside corners of my eyes so that gold and that maroon kind of blend nicely. It's not so harsh. All right, and that's pretty much the finished product for my shadows. So yeah. Okay, so now here comes sometimes my favorite part of applying makeup and sometimes the part I dread the most. Putting the eyeliner on with the wing. So I use Wet n Wild Mega Liner. Sometimes it's not waterproof, so if my allergies are really kicking, I can't use this because it will run. The corner of my eyes, that wing will be non-existent in no time. So I did see that they did come out with a waterproof. I just have yet to pick it up. But I really like Wet n Wild, and that's another product that's super inexpensive that, other than this not being waterproof, I haven't had too many issues with any of the new Wet n Wild products that I've picked up. Okay, and as luck would have it, like I say, some days are good days, some days are bad days. But today is going to be difficult because I got a little out of whack here. And I do my eyeliner and my wings freehand. I don't use tape or anything like that. I've tried and it just does not work out for me. So I do my best to just try to keep it as simple. And I never plan on going super big or long with my wing. It just always works out that way. Luckily, it looks good most of the time. So to fix this up, what I'll do is I'll just get a little bit of concealer out, take a straight edge brush, put a little bit on it, and just kind of clean this edge up just a little bit and pray it doesn't get worse. Okay, luckily it didn't give me too many problems, but I'm super picky about my wing, so I can already start to pick out some inconsistencies that I'm not happy with. So I'll go back and try to straighten that out too before I start my right eye. Okay, and it's just as good as it's gonna get for my left side, because I feel like if I work any more on it, I'm just gonna make it worse. And so it's not bad. It's just me and my high standards of my wings. I have very few excellent wing days. So let's go ahead and try to film a little bit of doing the right eye. And it seems there's one always goes on nicer and cleaner than the other. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're working with opposite hand. I don't know, but it's highly frustrating some days. Okay, and this is just one of those times where, I mean, this is it. Like, I will do anything for a nice, crisp, clean wing. Like, sharp enough to cut someone's heart out. That's what I'm going for. So, I mean, I'm not too disappointed, but I feel like they could be better. But now I am going to attempt to put on the false lashes, which gives me anxiety so bad. So I will not be filming me doing any of that. You will just see the finished product of the false lashes. Okay, so putting these false lashes on, no, I do not wear these on a regular basis because they just are too much for me. I do know they complete a look, but they are so difficult for me. It's just Dior mascara, and it's the best stuff I've ever put on my eyelashes. I'm going to be so sad when I run out of this little tube. I might just have to break down and pay the $35 for the full size. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with the corner of my eyes with this gold color again, just to, you know, highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Okay, and back to my Balm palette, I'm gonna take a little smudge brush and I'm gonna take this stroke, this black color. I'm gonna do my lash line and just under my bottom lash, And then after that, I will go back in with the Alice Cooper under there just to put a little accent color in there. Okay, so now back to my crease brush. A little bit of Alice Cooper. And just right under and blend it with that darker color. Voila. Okay. And all right, and that's it for eyes. Ugh, those false lashes really do a number on me. So now we'll move on to getting my face all ready for foundation and contour. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this e.l.f. mineral infused face primer. Sometimes I don't use a lot of primers, and I definitely cannot use eyeshadow primer. It makes my eyes water way too much, and with my seasonal allergies already, like there'd be nothing left of my eye makeup. So, but I don't have so much a problem with oily skin. My skin does tend to dry out really badly, so I have to use some type of moisturizing primer if I'm going to use any at all. And I do like the e.l.f. primers. Like, again, they're super inexpensive, and I haven't had any issues with them or any problems. And I'll just use my hands just to work that in. Okay, so now I'm going to use this for my foundation, this W7 Genius Featherlight foundation. I picked it up at an outlet store for $4.99 marked down from $15. It works out pretty well for me. It goes on super light, super smooth. I hope it doesn't look cakey. It surely doesn't feel cakey when I put it on. So yeah, it was a darker color that I picked up because my skin tone had, of course, gotten darker for the summer. So, but yeah, I really like it so far. And I don't go crazy putting foundation on just because I'm afraid it's gonna be way too much. So I just kind of take it easy with it a little bit. All right, so now I'll take my dirty little sponge, just blend it. I mean, it goes on really light and smooth. Like, sometimes I don't even feel like I'm putting anything on. Now you can see my skin down my neck is red. Thanks, pool time. Okay, for my light under eye and forehead and nose and whatnot highlight, I'll use this e.l.f. concealer stick in shade beige, because I mean, you don't want to go super duper light when your skin tone is a bit darker because of the sun and summertime anyway. And personally, I like to blend this out before I put any contour on. I don't like to do it all at the same time. Funny, but it's my way. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my contour stick. But my contour. Okay, I like to use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow dual-ended contour stick, but I only use the contour side. The highlight tends to be a bit too light for this time of year for me, so I'll just use the contour side. I don't know what I got right there. I stained myself with something. Who knows? Just around the top, just a little bit. I am not one of those people that overly contours my nose either. It's a pretty slim ridge anyway, but I like to add just a bit of definition. Because who doesn't like a good contour, right? All right, now I'm going to use my e.l.f. contouring brush to blend all of this in, out, all over. Can already see the difference contouring makes. And ladies, there is nothing wrong with it. Trust me. If it makes you feel good, do it. Okay, now I'm going to go in under my eyes, right down here with this Makeup Revolution, Makeup Revolution banana baking powder. I just recently started using it, and I'm in love with it. I love it. I feel like it just takes everything to another level. I really recommend this brand, using this powder. I heard that they're also coming out with a lighter powder for baking powder for people with lighter colored skin tones. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right, so I'm gonna take my sponge, just dab it in that powder, and just pop it under my eyes here. Maybe down a little bit. Same with the other side. I know I need to get a smaller sponge for this, but you gotta have the money for it too. And I'm not trying to spend tons of money on sponges when I can make what I got work. All right, I'll take that and I'll just cut it in right here to carve out that contour right there. All right. Okay, and now I like to take this Real Techniques Expert face brush to just brush and blend all of this out. Okay, now I'm going to use this Makeup Revolution Contour little mini kit. And I'm going to take this bronzing color. I'm going to go right up through here. Because like I said, who doesn't love a good contour? Okay, now I'm going to put just a little bit of blush on. My kid got this for me, I think, like 3 years ago, but I still love it. It's Too Faced, one of these little blush, Sweetheart, Perfect Flush Blush. So 3 years later, I'm still using it because I love it. All right, I'll just take a little bit. There we go. Okay, now for the part everybody loves, putting on the glow. Girl, again, NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter. I love it. I have 2 different shades. This one is called Crystal Glare. It's got a bit more of like a gold tone to it. So, and that's, I love that. I do have a, oh gosh. It's more of like a pink color, pinkish undertones, and it is here called State of Flux. So yeah, both, again, like I said, NYX, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because I love all of your products. All right, so I'm going to take just a little bit because a little goes a long way, trust me. I'm just going to dab a little bit right in here on both sides. Like I said, you do not want to get carried away because it goes on. I usually put just a little on the tip of my tip of my nose. A little here. All right. And what I'll do is I'll just take my fingers and pat that out. I mean, trust me, I'm not done with this glow yet either. Okay, maybe lighting's probably not perfect for this, but I mean, you can definitely see on my forehead Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of powdered highlight from my e.l.f. contour palette and just go over what I just put on just for a little extra. All right, ladies, and I say, if you want to glow, glow to the gods if you want to. Who cares? Put it on. Okay, and finally, I got this new shade from Soap and Glory lip color the other day. Sexy Mother Pucker color cinnamon beige. I love it. Give me a good nude color any day of the week and I will be in heaven. All right, so lighting I know is kind of not ideal, but I'll be working on that, no worries. But I'll have a picture of the finished product, but I mean, this is it. This is my routine and this is my finished product. So I hope that you enjoyed watching. If you have any questions or any tips or any critiques, please feel free. Again, I'm not a professional. I just do this because I like to do it. I have my own ways of doing things. And if anybody can help me out, feel free to comment. If you like what you saw, feel free to comment. And I hope I see you again. Remember, Instagram at m.j.glam. Thank you. We are loved.